Hello, this is Joseph, the first J of jmdjstudios, and I'm here today to do the evolution of video game controllers, the Nintendo edition. Now, in this video, I'm going to be showing how the Nintendo controller has evolved from the NES all the way up to the Wii. Alright, so let's look at the first system here. You have the original NES controller. And here you have the D-pad, the start and select button, and then the A and B. It's a very simple controller. It's a square controller. It's not really comfortable to hold, but you know, you can do it. And then the variation of this controller is this. So they've made it round. Wrap your finger around it when you play. It made it a little easier to hold. So that is the NES. We're moving on to the Super Nintendo. As you see, they made the controller larger, as it completely fits over top of this one. They kept the same general design, but they added two buttons, the Y and X button. They also added the left and right triggers. And that's very important when you... Sorry about that. It's very important when you play your game, and it shows a lot in the development of the rest of the controllers. Moving on from this, we go to the Nintendo 64 controller. Now this controller is, in my opinion, sets up the basis for everything else that's coming. First off, it introduces the analog stick. They kept A and B, and they added in the C, which are used for many different things in the game. They kept the control pad, the D-pad. They kept the left and right triggers, but they added the Z button and the expansion bay, which can be used for rumble packs, memory cards, or microphones. I have a memory card in there right now. But that's in the Nintendo 64 controller. Pay attention to the color scheme because they keep it the same for the rest of the system. Moving on from that, we have the Gamecube controller. As you can see, there's many similarities here. One thing they did was they switched the the analog stick from here to there. They kept the D-pad. They changed the C buttons from actual buttons to a C stick, which, in my opinion, made it a lot easier to do a lot of things. They kept the center start button, just like in the 64. They kept the A and B, and they added on the Y and X buttons from all the way back here. So they took the Y and X from the Super Nintendo and added them on here. Gives the player more buttons. So they've taken everything so far and just upped it. They kept the right and left triggers, and they gave you a Z bumper. So they kept all of their buttons this far. Now I'm going to show you the variation, which is like the in-between of that controller and this controller. It's the Gamecube Wavebird. It's a bigger controller of the two, and it's also wireless, and that kind of sets up for the rest of the controllers, the wireless controllers. It has a battery pack, but it's just really a size thing here. And finally, we're moving on to the last Nintendo system, the Nintendo Wii. So here we have the D-pad, the A button and the B button. You have the plus minus button, the home button 1 and 2, the Z button, the C button, and the analog stick. When they made the Wii, they completely changed everything that they had going with the controllers. But anyways, that's how we've come from this to that. And that is the evolution of the Nintendo system controllers. This is going to be the first video out of 4, so if you continue watching these, you're going to see the evolution of the Sony controllers, the evolution of the Microsoft controllers, and last but not least, the evolution of video games in general. So this has been Joseph Cruey, the first J of jmdjstudios. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to us if you liked it.